Bread is a beloved staple, but mold seems to appear at the worst times. In this video, we expose the hidden enemy in every loaf and reveal a simple storage trick that keeps bread fresh longer. We'll explore a lineup of practical strategies, from the celery trick and the beeswax wrap revolution to breathable storage, the freezer method, and climate-smart tips that actually slow mold and preserve texture. Whether you're a sourdough fanatic or just want to revive stale slices, you'll learn the mold timeline, surface area savvy slicing, and quick revival techniques to stretch every loaf. 1. The hidden enemy in every loaf. Every year, significant amounts of bread are consumed globally, with consumption varying by region, yet countless loaves end up in the trash due to mold. Any kind of water damage or excess moisture can facilitate mold growth in as little as 24-48 hours, making bread one of the most vulnerable foods in your kitchen. The frustration is real when you reach for that perfect slice only to find fuzzy green spots staring back at you. What if there was a surprisingly simple trick hiding in your vegetable drawer that could extend your bread's life by weeks? The answer lies with a common celery stalk, but the science behind it might shock you more than the mold you've been battling. 2. Why bread becomes mold's favorite target. Mold growth happens when organic material in bread is exposed to moisture and air, with mold spores constantly floating around looking for a food source. Bread is considered an intermediate moisture food product that is prone to mold spoilage, creating perfect conditions for unwanted fungal guests. Humidity plays a major role, as bread loves a cool, dry environment, but in humid climates, mold can grow much faster. The combination of bread's starch and sugar content with even slight moisture creates an irresistible buffet for mold spores that are invisible to the naked eye until it's too late. 3. The celery revolution that changes everything. By placing a few stalks of celery in the bag with bread, it does not dry and does not mold for 2 to 3 weeks. This seemingly bizarre trick has gained traction on social media, but the science behind it is genuinely fascinating. Celery's most remarkable property is its high water content, which is about 95% of its weight, and by placing 1 or 2 celery stems inside a bread bag, moisture within the stems can be transferred to the surrounding environment. This moisture transfer helps create a moist microclimate inside the bag, reducing the rate of moisture loss from the bread, keeping it soft and moist for longer periods. 4. The natural antimicrobial secret weapon. Celery has natural antibacterial properties that inhibit mold growth, containing various compounds including phthalate and apigenin which exhibit antifungal and antibacterial activity, helping prevent mold spores and microorganisms from settling on bread. Adding a small piece of celery to the bread bag naturally releases ethylene gas, which acts as a natural antimicrobial agent, inhibiting mold growth. This dual-action approach of moisture regulation combined with natural antimicrobial properties makes celery an unexpectedly powerful ally in bread preservation. The ethylene gas release creates an additional protective barrier that commercial preservatives try to replicate with synthetic chemicals. 5. The freezer method for long-term victory. One of the best ways to keep bread from molding is to keep it in the freezer. If your loaf is unsliced, slice it before freezing to pull out individual slices when needed, allowing bread slices to thaw in minutes while retaining fresh taste for longer. Wrap the entire loaf in plastic wrap or aluminum foil. Place it in another plastic bag and seal tightly using thicker freezer bags to prevent freezer burn, storing properly wrapped bread in the freezer for up to 3 months. This method completely halts mold growth while maintaining bread quality better than any room temperature storage option. 6. Why your refrigerator is bread's worst enemy. Don't store bread in the refrigerator as it might seem counterintuitive, but placing home-baked bread in the refrigerator will cause it to become stale faster than if kept at room temperature. The cooler the place you store bread, the faster recrystallization takes place, making bread go stale, particularly true in refrigerators which circulate cool, dry air. The refrigerator creates a double curse for bread. It accelerates staling while the humidity can still promote mold growth if the bread isn't properly wrapped. You're essentially getting the worst of both worlds by choosing this seemingly logical storage location. 7. Breathable storage solutions that actually work. The inside of a bread box has just the right amount of air circulation to keep mold from growing and just enough humidity to keep bread soft and fresh. If you don't have a bread box, consider purchasing a cloth bread bag which provides an airtight seal while allowing enough airflow and preventing the loaf from drying. Brown paper bags can be lifesavers, as there's a reason bakeries sell products in these bags. A simple brown paper bag keeps mold away when kept tightly closed and stored out of direct sunlight, working well for hard-crusted, rustic breads for up to 2 days. Tea towels perform the same job as cloth bread bags, so you don't have to purchase a new product. 8. The beeswax wrap revolution. To keep fresh bread from going stale or molding, the best method is wrapping it in breathable Abigo beeswax wrap, allowing bread to maintain its moisture balance, prevent mold, and keep it fresh longer without using plastic. Wrap bread snugly in a large rectangle wrap once cooled, as the wrap molds itself around the bread, creating a protective, breathable barrier. Beeswax wraps are a sustainable method of keeping bread fresh and mold-free for days. These natural alternatives not only protect your bread but also align with environmentally conscious storage practices, eliminating the need for single-use plastic bags. 9. Strategic slicing and surface area control. By keeping the loaf whole instead of pre-slicing it, you delay some molding from occurring because it limits the surface area where mold from the air can settle, and the crust is less porous than the interior, so mold doesn't spread as easily. Pre-sliced bread creates multiple entry points for airborne mold spores to establish colonies. If you have a super crusty crust on your bread and want to avoid plastic bags, once sliced, place it cut side down on your counter, as the crust will prevent some water from wicking away, though this method doesn't work with soft crust breads. This technique uses the bread's own natural defenses to your advantage. 10. Climate considerations for optimal storage. While many sources say never to use a plastic bag, sometimes it might be necessary, especially if your climate demands it, as in the dead of winter in dry climates like New Mexico, where humidity levels drop so low that lower hydration sourdough bread almost has to be placed in a sealed plastic bag. If you live in a very high humidity environment, you may not be able to keep sliced bread on the counter as long and might have to move it to the refrigerator to prevent molding. Understanding your local climate is crucial for choosing the right storage method. What works in Arizona's dry heat won't work in Louisiana's humid summers, making storage strategy a localized science rather than a one-size-fits-all solution. 11. When sourdough becomes your secret weapon. One beautiful thing about sourdough bread is it will last longer before staling and molding than commercially yeasted bread, as acidification of dough by lactic acid bacteria in sourdough starter and physical chemical changes during bread making help protect against premature bread firming and drying, with acids helping prevent molding for a week or more without chemical preservatives. The natural fermentation process in sourdough creates an inhospitable environment for harmful mold while promoting beneficial preservation. This ancient technique proves that traditional methods often outperform modern shortcuts in maintaining food quality and safety. 12. Emergency revival techniques for stale bread. There's a successful method for resuscitating very dry or stale bread using the running water method. Run bread under tap water for 20-30 seconds, less soaks in than you'd think, and toss it back in a 450 degree oven for 4-5 minutes, bringing it back to life quite well. This technique can save bread that's gone stale but hasn't developed mold. Don't immediately discard bread that feels hard or dry. The staling process is different from spoilage, and with the right revival techniques, you can often restore bread to near fresh condition for immediate consumption. 13. Understanding the mold timeline. Some research suggests that natural additives like raisin extracts may help extend bread's mold-free shelf life compared to untreated bread. These studies reveal how natural preservatives can nearly double bread's safe storage time. Commercial bread typically shows mold growth between day 4-7 under normal storage conditions, but with proper techniques, this timeline can be extended to 2-3 weeks or more. Understanding these patterns helps you plan purchases and storage strategies more effectively. 14. The paper towel absorption method. Putting a clean and dry paper towel under bread in its bag when storing in the pantry closet prevents bread from getting moldy, and when removing the paper towel, it feels damp. This simple technique absorbs excess moisture that would otherwise create perfect mold growing conditions. The paper towel acts as a moisture buffer, preventing condensation from accumulating directly on the bread surface while maintaining enough humidity to prevent excessive drying. It's a low-cost solution that requires no special equipment or storage containers.